white just for a moment. Haaland not given latitude to turn, but able to get a shot away.
And he does his best to wriggle free. Chirk is the one. Dancing along, we see here. Again, touch tight Saliba, but just breaks free. Haaland tries to throw a toe under him, try and turn something goalward. Doesn't quite get the connection he would like. Comes off the bottom of his studs. Half a yard, Erling Haaland.
Nearly done by Gyökeres, now Havertz. He's managed to deliver across when prospects seem to be fading. Rallying cry from Havertz. Corner for Arsenal.
Just when you think Manchester City are starting to gain control of this cup final and looking the more comfortable team, it's a defensive error. It's happened so many times. It actually shouldn't be in the corner. Very difficult for the referee to make that decision. Can't really blame him, I don't think, with the angle he had. Should Arsenal score from this? I'm sure there'll be some words said.
Well, a fortunate break. But no such fortunate break of the ball inside that 6-yard area for Arsenal on that occasion. And Kepa has to show a sense of authority here, and he certainly isn't.
Why has he stopped it? I can't understand why the referee stopped this passage of play. Just see here, Doku gets down this side, gets away from the goalkeeper. Can't understand why Dina Vance has stopped it. He does allow play to continue. There's people approaching the 18-yard box that Doku can roll it back to. Just checked if it was a Dogs who was denial of a goal scoring opportunity. It isn't. I'm sure Pep Guardiola will be wondering why on earth play was stopped in such a strong situation for Manchester City. Arms outstretched by Doku.
Well, the fourth official on the receiving end of a Guardiola lecture. John Brooks, the VAR, concurring with Peter Banks' initial assessment. But Kepa, who has had a checkered past at Wembley with not a far from inspiring moment. Having not been given the advantage they felt they were due, they could yet exact full advantage from this situation.
Chirk is in a little bit of space on the edge of the box.
Doku also intriguingly poised. Semenyo, it's a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let Arsenal off the hook. That man deep in thought. Not really happy with that. But he will be happy with how his team's come out in this second half. Feels like City starting to get a strong hold of this cup final, slowly but surely.
Rice imposing himself. Nearly led to some profit for Arsenal. Zubimendi, Havertz, and Rice. Saka wary of his starting position, didn't quite latch onto it. Now Doku for Manchester City. Rodri. Bernardo Silva through one challenge, but Zubimendi's back for ball. There's Haaland. Ben White unable to decisively win it. Doku, forgiven for thinking, was boxed in, able to get a ball into the box.
Yeah, it's a good boxing ball in as well, really good ball in. You'll be asking, why is no one crashing the box?
Well, maybe they've written him off in that situation.
And Manchester City, without doubt, growing in stature in this game, growing in confidence. They look like they've been here before.
Certainly asserting authority at the moment, and Haaland getting more and more involved.
Yeah, he might not be pretty, but he's certainly occupying. What they are doing is any balls that come off him, or come off the centre half he's with, they're picking up those second balls.
Bernardo Silva driving forward and picking away through the massed Arsenal ranks. Superb work. Doku. Trossard with a vital defensive header. Rodri, Zubimendi in the way.
That roar is from the City fans, make them feel it, they can sit in the stadium.
The Mancunian choir raising their voices. Semenyo. Shirky. Not quite again. Trossard picking up the right defensive position. Doku, did he run that out? No is the verdict. Well, he's rising to the challenge at the moment, Jeremy Doku. Ake. Doku again. O'Reilly. Shirky. Rodri.
This is it, can they make it count? Manchester City, without doubt the best spell that either side have had so far in the cup finals. We approached the hour mark. And Arsenal ride the storm.
Semenyo!
Well, it's been the bright spark, hasn't he, for Manchester City. Manages to get into that 18-yard box, half a yard. See what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to flash it into that far corner. Doesn't quite get his angles right. I start to believe.
Arsenal relief. And a leisurely reaction as they seek to take the heat out of it.
Yeah, but we've seen them so many times already. City happy to sit in this 4-2-4 formation and say, pass through us, find a way.
We're a long way over. That's just the case there, but it breaks for Doku. And he's winning his battle, Shirky! There was Gabriel pretty well positioned. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Semenyo. Displaying his confidence. Krisanov. City pushed back.
Yeah, double Arsenal there from the situation. Manchester City found themselves in. Arsenal pressed very well.
And now Haaland has a chance to get moving. But Saliba has been on top so far.
That's the first time he's been able to open his legs, Erling Haaland. Thought he was going to stay on his left foot, keep driving outside of the goal, decides to cut in. Lima just blocks the way.
Cherky. Different gear in this second half.
He leaves him up ball, Cherky, doesn't he? The ability's there.
Rodri floated. Saliba with another important hit. It's again. And he's had his moments of heroics at that end as a defender.
Not quite set up for Manchester City man.
But the fact that he was where he was is quite telling. Cherky. Oh, and he didn't get a hold of it! And O'Reilly pounces! Well, City's grip tightens as the goalkeeper's failed it.
Well, it's been coming, hasn't it, for Manchester City? They've been asking questions. They've grown in confidence throughout this second half. They couldn't quite bring Arsenal down. It's actually a mistake from Kepa. But nevertheless, it's the left back that finds himself closest to goal. And that shows everything you need to know about the narrative of this game in the second half. How high O'Reilly finds himself. And they've just prodded and poked and waited and been patient, Manchester City. All of a sudden, they strike, just comes on that blind side, O'Reilly. But I'll guarantee you he'll never score an easier goal in a cup final. But it doesn't matter. First blood, Manchester City. First blood, the master, Pep Guardiola.
And so often it's the attacking player whose reactions are the swifter. Kepa will struggle to live down that moment.
Well, him in this competition, it's always high drama, isn't it? Whichever football club he's playing for. But needs to dress himself down now, needs to focus on the task. Yes, he's made a big mistake, but can he keep his side in it?
Well, it's as well to remember the two occasions upon which Arsenal won this competition. They came from behind to do it.
Yeah, they did indeed. Now they need to show character. Manchester City on the front foot. They can smell blood.
O'Reilly. Confidence coursing through him. And amidst a galaxy of stars from every corner of the globe, a Manchester lad with the goal on the Wembley stage.
Well, that's been the difference second half. Those second balls, those long balls, Manchester City have won the ball. Arsenal need to find a foothold in this game. Is Mikel Arteta going to make changes? I can see him gesturing to the ball, to the bench. I think it's Martinelli he's looking towards.
Well, Kepa has been the man in possession in this competition, and a goalkeeper who makes very few errors, but no doubt he will have been there at one point in his career.
As all goalkeepers are. And unfortunately for them, with the position they play on the pitch, their mistakes are highlighted ever more so. It goes back to the question, doesn't it? Should you stick with your cup team that has got you here? Should you play your best players? David Raya, without doubt, being the better goalkeeper of the two, especially when it could be your first silverware for such a long time. That will be the question if the score remains the same.
O'Reilly winning that well. And setting Doku on his way. Tess Nunes. And O'Reilly's there again! Sheer delight for Manchester City! Arsenal sent tottering to the canvas! And Manchester City planting one hand firmly on the trophy now.
When he went to bed last night, he couldn't have dreamt of today going any better than it has so far. 2 goals in the cup final for a local man. Shell-shocked, Declan Rice, Mikel Arteta. They can't understand what's happened. But Manchester City have been superb in this second half. Big players have stepped up for them. Nunes can pick his spot here, has so much time. And it's O'Reilly at the back post with a simple header, back across, makes absolutely no mistake, drifts away in dreamland for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola running down the touchline. He knows how big this is. It's absolutely massive for Manchester City. Not just for this afternoon, not just for the Carabao Cup, but could it be a psychological blow in the Premier League? Could this be the turning point that everyone's been waiting for?
Well, Pep Guardiola will not care about the yellow card that has come his way. There have been plenty of those this season. Arsenal have made changes. Noni Madueke fresh into the fight, battling against the man who has had the day of his young football life so far. So Madueke on, Calafiori on.
The question is for Pep Guardiola as he runs down that touchline, is it joy or is it relief?
Well, in the midst of a touchline ban, the regulations mean it does not apply to this cup final occasion. He'll serve the second part of it next time around in the FA Cup against Liverpool. And Havertz and Nkapie, the Arsenal players withdrawn.
You know, that was a problem all that, wasn't it? Down that left-hand side for Arsenal with Nkapie getting booked very early on. Everything good for Manchester City has come down that right side. Semenyo, Nunes overlapping. Both goals come from that side. You wonder, should he have addressed that at half-time? Can these changes make the difference for Arsenal? Can they plot their way back into this cup final?
So, end of the road for Messrs Havertz and Nkapie.
Manchester City have been so impressive in stopping Arsenal with goal kicks. They have just stood, they have waited, they've been patient. Arsenal haven't managed to find a way through.
And they've got it back. Doku.
They've been superb in the second half, hasn't he, Doku? Drifting in off his left-hand side.
Well, Cherky there with the like of which we haven't seen at Wembley since the days of Jim Baxter for Scotland in 1967 in that famous win over the world champions England.
Either your knowledge is exceptional or you're a very old man.
latest yellow card recipient. He can have no argument whatsoever.
No, you know why? Due to this here, it's the last thing as a professional footballer you want to see someone who can keep you up his. No, that's what his manager thinks of it. He's not very happy. It's still only 2-0. That could come back to bite him. There's 20 minutes left in this game. A bit longer with added time. You never know how it's going to go. Ben White being an Arsenal man, got vengeance.
Two goals in less than 5 minutes for O'Reilly. But he's helped open the door potentially for Arsenal here. Ake. Well, has he put a foot wrong this afternoon?
No, he's been good, hasn't he? Really good. A lot of questions at the start of the game. The selection that Pep Guardiola had to make so far, and marshalled the likes of Gyökeres, Saka extremely well.
On a pair of clips, and I did catch a brief glimpse. There he is, of Kolo Touré, the Manchester City Brains Trust. Gabriel. It starts from the front, doesn't it?
Yeah, all of a sudden there's a little bit more impetus in that press from Manchester City, a bit more belief, a bit more energy. Put Arsenal under a lot of pressure.
Well, when it's finally going your way, as it isn't is, I'm sure the willingness to do it gets a little bit stronger.
Yeah, a little bit more energy in those legs. Very impressed with how Manchester City read the situation.
Fury keen to try and change the picture. Something a little different. Something from anywhere would be very
It certainly would. I was just going on to say, I'm really impressed with how Manchester City read the situation. They could feel that Arsenal were on the ropes. They didn't sit back, try and protect the 1-0 lead. They didn't let the game settle. They went after that second double blow, quick succession. And now they can't sit back, say, come and break us down, what have you got to give, and work off the back of that. When Arsenal start leaving spaces, get that balance wrong. The biggest test for Mikel Arteta's man so far this season, without any question of doubt. How do they react?
well, Madueke carrying the fight. An Arsenal free kick which he wanted to take with some urgency. But really a moment for the meticulous planning to come to the fore, and his has to come good also. Rice arm aloft, threatening. Fury's head. Trafford's comfortable grasp.
It was almost perfect from Arsenal, wasn't it? Fury turns it goalward. Trafford, right place, right time. Not the first time he's made a reasonable save this afternoon. Kept his side in it early on, didn't he? Tail of the tape when it comes to second choice goalkeepers at either club. One has been exemplary, the other one makes a grave error.
Bernardo Silva. Doku.
Doku standing on the ball there. He knows that Ben White can't go near him. Walking the same tightrope. And then Cafe had to walk such a long period in this game. So difficult when you've got the likes of Semenyo and Doku against you, really tricky, strong, direct wingers.
Players who draw challenges. Shirky, tremendous bit of work again.
I did ask him early on in the second half. Manchester City need to see more of Shirky. This is why he's been brought to the football club. It was almost like he heard me. Even Bernardo Silva has been absolutely outstanding in this second half, driving towards Arsenal, right through the heart of them, drawing players in, popping the ball off. Exactly what the manager wanted from them.
Amongst his many tattoos, Nico O'Reilly, there's one on one of his arms, I gather, which bears the Manchester telephone dialing code 0161. Just a way of telling everybody where he's from. The other arm says humble.
Yeah, the 0161's quite a niche one if you're not from Manchester.
Saka's dug it out. There's O'Reilly. Madueke. He's urgently attempting to win it back.
Team thought, how does he plot his way out of this scenario? A bit tough for the cheeks. He's under the pump.
Rice. Martinelli. You have a crucial say as Arsenal look for a way back. Young Max Dowman, who would be, if he steps onto the pitch, the youngest ever League Cup finalist. So swiftly after becoming the youngest top-flight goal scorer in England for 42 years, since Jason Dizelle, a couple of weeks and more younger than him, struck for Ipswich against Coventry in 1984. Trossard, well, Calafiori. And he is fractions away.
I think it hits the post. I think he just kisses the post on the way past. I did wonder if he could have taken this first time rather than have this little touch. Decides to flick it open. He catches it so well on the volley. I think it's Yorker in the middle. Doesn't quite make contact as it flashes across. See there? Oh, it's so close. Actually, Trossard doesn't quite cut across it enough. Calafiori to get that bend on it to find its way to the bottom corner. Without doubt, the closest that Arsenal have come in this second half.
Well, Arsenal had the door ajar there, but close gets you nothing.
And they need to keep their composure, keep finding those opportunities, keep at it. Arsenal don't find themselves in this situation very often. The narrative will be, if they come out second best, Thinking about recent seasons, being bridesmaids, coming second. Is it a habit? What will be the narrative after this final if they can't find a way back into it?
So Nunes put a little bit on the back foot there by Ryan Shirky.
Yeah, he did have a little look if he could play to his goalkeeper. Gyökeres had cut it off, took quite well there, the Manchester City man.
Rodri, Doku. Just two or three of them, and Doku is certainly one of them who have found that little extra gear in the second half.
Yeah, without doubt, I think it was Semenyo first half, or helped, should I say, orchestrate Manchester City. Goal lead.
But the sure-footed Rodri has put the ball straight into touch. Activity in the Arsenal technical area. Martinelli for Trossard. And Gabriel Jesus, formerly of Manchester City, about to replace Ben White, we hear.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Ben White can't make a challenge on Doku. That should surprise Manchester City. Haven't kept feeding that ball to Doku high up the field and isolating him in one-on-one situations. Ben White was playing with his arms behind his back, so
Doku. And it would appear O'Reilly's hunger is not sated.
yeah, doesn't quite get enough on that ball, does he, Doku? He gets it right. O'Reilly's in again.
So the trail changes. Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus on the pitch. Quite a revealing interview from Gabriel Jesus this week. He said when he arrived at Arsenal, he suggested they were capable of winning the league, and some of his teammates laughed at him.